Try this one on for size. This is Dateline Washington, CBS. Uncovered documents show the U.S. State Department may have covered up alleged allegations of illegal behavior ranging from sexual assaults to an underground State Department drug ring. CBS News is reporting that it has unearthed documents from the Diplomatic Security Service, DSS, an internal watchdog agency, that implicate the State Department in a series of misconducts worldwide. The memo, reported by CBS News' John Miller, cited 8 specific examples, including allegations that a State Department security official in Beirut engaged in sexual assaults with foreign nationals hired as embassy guards, and the charge that members of former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's security detail engaged prostitutes while on official trips in foreign countries. A problem, the report says, is endemic. The former State Department internal investigator told CBS News, quote, "We have also uncovered several allegations of criminal wrongdoings in cases, some of which never became cases. Oftentimes, other DSS agents were simply told to back off investigations of high-ranking State Department members. They told CBS, quote, that hostile intelligence services allow criminal behavior to continue, end quote. In one such cover-up, investigators were told to stop probing the case of a U.S. ambassador who was suspected of patronizing prostitutes in a public park. The memo states the ambassador was permitted to return to his post despite having, quote, routinely ditched his protective security detail in order, I'm still quoting, to solicit sexual favors from prostitutes in a park.
And where are you going to do it, though, you know?
Yeah.
A draft of the Inspector General's report on the performance...
Can't have your security detail with you when you're, when you're busy.
A draft of the Inspector General's report on performance of the DSS obtained by CBS News states... hindering such cases calls into question the integrity of the investigative process.
May I just say, let he among us who hasn't ditched their security detail to solicit prostitution in a park cast the first stone.
How can you possibly... By the way, these are the guys who went over and investigated Benghazi.
Yeah.
How can you possibly know... How can you possibly know what's true and what's not true
and how
with what happened in Benghazi?
And how can you possibly keep track of all these scandals? We need like a master list or something. I can't even. I've lost track.
This goes back to the scandal with the Secret Service. Secret Service is doing the same thing.
Oh yeah,
these guys are so
Mexico
evil. They're so evil. Remember, if you read, and these guys did, Garden of the Beast, when you went in for the Night of Long Knives, everybody is stunned by the brown shirts and the sexual degenerates that they were. They were having sex with each other, with prisoners, with prostitutes, male, female, boy, girl. It didn't matter. They were just degenerates in every meaning of the word. You know, I think there's a real difference between being in a committed relationship, straight or gay, no matter, and being somebody who's just going out and just picking up prostitutes.
You think there's a difference there?
I think
you're going to take that stand
I think
today?
there's a huge difference. I think there's a huge difference.
Okay.
And
you're saying there's something wrong with pansexuality?
Rampant pansexuality. And this is the same kind of culture that we are seeing now in our law enforcement. We had a house in our neighborhood that my wife was driving out. And I don't live in a bad neighborhood. And this
is an understatement.
Yeah. And the SWAT team had surrounded this house. They had blocked off the road and they had blown out all of the windows.
This is in your current neighborhood?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, right down the street from me.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. Blown out all the windows. SWAT team is in there. Now, we've gone by the house yesterday, and Tanya said, hey, want to see the SWAT house? I said, I don't know what was going on in there. And I said, I can't believe in our neighborhood. And she's like, yeah, wait, I want to show it to you. And then I've got a little update for the rest of the story. Okay. Now this whole thing has been just torn down. They just tore it down.
The house?
The house. just torn down.
Which had to be fairly nice. It had to be a decent house.
It wasn't
not a dump.
It wasn't a dump.
It wasn't a double wide.
It wasn't a double wide.
Mm-hmm.
They just tore it down.
They just tore it down?
Tore it down. Now,
why?
You ready? The owner was going to tear it down anyway, and they just let the SWAT team practice on that house before they tore it down.
What?
Now, I thought to myself, okay, all right. Shouldn't they let the neighbors know that we're going to have a SWAT team in your area
practicing
maneuvers on blowing the windows out of a house? Now, maybe that's exactly what happened. Okay? Maybe somebody bought the house and they were like, hey, we're going to tear it down. And maybe they read a want ad, SWAT team looking for houses to practice on in nice neighborhoods.
Happens all the time.
It happens all the time. Mm-hmm. I don't know how, but let's just take it at face value. That's exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that for a second. And here's why I don't believe it. I don't believe anything anybody in authority tells me anymore.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's really hard.
Credibility's been pretty ruined.
Now, we don't survive. We don't survive if we don't believe our authorities. If we don't believe the people we have hired. Remember, they work for you. You don't work for them. They're not the boss of you. You are their boss. They're public servants. But do you trust any of them anymore? Because I don't trust a single damn one of them.